Welcome to the Brickie Experience. We're so glad you joined us today. And today I have a very special guest. It's Brickie alumni, Ben Eberle. Welcome, Ben.
Hi. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's podcast is on taking initiative, and I can't think of anyone more than to share this concept of how do you take initiative than Ben. All right, so Ben, very interesting. You just graduated.
Yes.
You are from the class of 2024. That's you and your lovely sister.
Yep.
Shout out to the class of 2024. All right, so let's get back to business here. What college did you decide to attend?
So I'm attending Purdue University Northwest this year.
All right, very good. And so let's talk about early college, dual credit from Hobart University.
Sure.
How much college credit did you take with you when you graduated?
So I graduated Hobart with the associate's degree and about 60 college credits.
Wow, that's an associate's degree for everyone that's out there, totally free. You can do that at Hobart University. And so how much school do you have left at Purdue?
So I'm going for a bachelor's degree, so I have 2 years left. So the associate's cut off half the amount of time that I had to be there.
Right, so you will have received a 4-year degree in 2 years, all
Yes.
because of Hobart University. Woohoo! All right, so what are you majoring in?
So I'm majoring in entrepreneurship.
Well, that makes totally great sense because that's why we're going to talk about his initiatives today. All right, so let's go back to your junior year, right?
Yep.
And so I vividly remember this. You heard about this Innovate Within contest,
Yes.
and wow, it all started happening right after that.
Absolutely.
Talk to the Brickies about what that competition is all about.
Yeah, so I got started. I just sent an email to Mr. Schultz. I had an idea, and I wanted to see if it could go anywhere. And he and my mom told me about Innovate Within. So I said, okay, I'll look into that and see what it was. So the best way I can explain Innovate Within is it's basically Shark Tank for high school students. So it's a pitch competition where any student that has an idea for a product or a way to make the world a better place, a business model, they can go ahead and they can pitch that idea to the Started Up Foundation, which is what runs Innovate Within.
All right, so what made you decide to get involved with it?
So really, I just figured I should take the first step. I had an idea. I wanted to see where it could go. My mom said, hey, reach out to Mr. Schultz. I sent him an email. He gave me some links to watch for videos. And from there, I'm like, okay, I think I like this. I know I've taken business classes before, and I kind of like that. So I'm just going to kind of see where this goes.
All right, so you had this idea. What happened after that?
Yeah, so I had the idea, like I said, working on it at school. I started the idea in between my sophomore and junior year in the summer. So I had the idea. I continued to really try to figure out what the product was, how to develop it. And so when I came back to school in the fall, starting my junior year, I kept going with the product. I said, okay, well, I got some engineering to do. I had to figure out some stuff for online. I got to figure out a pitch deck and stuff like that. So that's really been 2.5 years, and it's gotten me here to where I am today.
A little overwhelming, I'm imagining, as
Absolutely.
a junior, because you have all of your academics, you have extracurricular, you were a soccer player, ended up playing golf as well. And so a lot happening on top of this product. So I know that you ended up going to state. Let's take a look at that. Can you talk to the audience a little bit about what happened at the state competition?
Sure. So this picture here is the day before the competition. We were at the venue, and I had set up a booth, basically just showing off my product a little bit to the people that were there, talking to the audience members, answering questions that some of the judges had about the product before the event even started. So that was me there. And then going into the next day is when I actually pitched at state, and I got second place. 3,000 teams applied that year, so I was super thankful to be able to take home second place and the $5,000 that came with it for my product. And it was a huge experience for me because I had to learn very quickly how to talk in front of 1,500 people live, and as well
I
as a
remember
live
us
stream.
practicing
Yeah.
for the regional, then going down to state. You had a lot of hard work. I don't think people realize, besides marketing and preparing yourself for that presentation, you were still engineering your product.
Yes.
Let's take a look at your product.
Sure.
And let's tell people the name of it, what it does, so that the audience can get a flavor for what your business is all about.
Yeah, so my product is Toe Scout. It's a cup holder mounting rearview mirror for boats. So as you can see, this is the piece that will go in the cup holder, and then the rest of it you can adjust as you need. So it's really cool. It came from a family initiative. My sister liked to tube and ski. We needed a mirror for a boat, so that's why I started making it. And it's taken me 2.5 years to actually engineer the part. So that was definitely the hardest part. That and patents were some of the biggest issues I had. But the
Right. So
engineering was hard.
let's go to that. So you're down there, you win this money, and then you're really still working hard on the engineering aspect of it. And do you want to talk a little bit about that part of it, on the engineering, the hard work that goes into that?
Sure, sure. So some people think that the pitch competition would have been like the last thing you do, right? Like it's like, okay, you're getting everything together to go to this competition. You pitch, yay, you won, now you're done. No. So the pitch competition really was the start of the journey. It allowed me to get all the information I needed to then continue to keep going. So that's ultimately what led me to keep going and pursue it. And like that picture you just showed of me measuring out a cup holder to see what size this base piece needed to be for the engineering of it. So it was really a long, difficult journey to get this product to where it is today.
Right. And I mean, you really have to think about, in terms of when you have this concept, why would people even buy it? And the concept being with boating, when you do have tubers, skiers, whatever behind you, it is so important for their safety to be able to see where they're at.
Absolutely.
This is a great idea, and I just love it. So is it in production right now?
It is, yes. So I have an Etsy store for Toe Scout for my product. I have an Instagram page, which is the username is Toe Scout. So if you want to go ahead and follow that, please do. And then I'm actually selling it at a boat dealership up in Michigan. This is Hall's. That's Hayden Hall, the owner. They're one of the largest Bennington boat retailers in the nation, and I'm selling my product there.
That's pretty great. All right, so let's talk about, how much does Toe Scout cost?
Yeah, so it's a $200 product. It's like I said, it's available on Etsy. It's available there in store. It's $200 for the product. Yeah.
So you had to take a lot of initiative with this, as we could just see. You said, what, 2.5 years to do this? And did you have all of the expertise in terms of having to go from the beginning all the way to up to where you are right now?
No, it was definitely all acquired knowledge and a huge learning experience. I mean, there's just I could spend hours talking about how much I've learned through this, right? But some of the biggest things, one of the biggest things I learned was just the public speaking aspect of it. Like I said, I had to speak in front of 1,500 people.
Well, you have to persuade people that you have
Yes.
something you want to sell,
Yes.
and so I think that was a huge factor in all of this.
Absolutely.
You have a relevant product, and let me convince you to buy my product, right?
Absolutely. And it's a lot of hard work, and you learn a lot. I've learned a lot through the experience. I learned taxes do really suck. But no, all jokes aside, it's been an incredible journey.
All right, so I mean, you just didn't take this idea and get to where you are, where you have your own business. I mean, you're a high school student that is an entrepreneur and have your own business. That's pretty big. What kind of setbacks did you have?
Yeah, so one of the immediate things I think of was patent issues. So I was worried about the company WeatherTech. They have a cup holder mounting piece as well, which was originally more similar to my idea. And going into it and trying to make the product and actually go to sell it, I realized, okay, well, if I keep this idea the way it is, then I'm probably going to run into some issues. Maybe not now, but down the road. And that's what took the longest then, going into the engineering of it. We had to figure out a way for the piece to actually fit in the cup holder and stay there, which is not easy. I was lucky enough that Hobart had a student, Matthew Hathaway, in Mr. Schultz's class the same time that I was, who was able to help me come up with this design right here. And we love it.
Teamwork.
Absolutely.
Teamwork.
Absolutely.
Can you tell the audience, because I know you have a provisional patent, what is a provisional patent?
Yeah, so a provisional patent is the first step if you want to protect your IP or intellectual property. So if you have an idea for a product or something and you're like, hey, if I have this idea, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it, you get a provisional patent. You say, okay, this is kind of what my idea is. I know roughly what it's going to be, but it's not fully polished yet. So I want to get this provisional so that I have like a year or so to work on it. and then come back and file the actual design or utility patent.
Right. And I would let people know too that you have to get an attorney, you have to pay for that provisional patent work that they help you apply for. So that's just another aspect
Yes.
of this. And here you're in high school having to learn and do all of those things, but you had people helping you along the way.
I did, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. So did you ever dream that you would be in this position as a junior or even, anytime while you were in Hobart school system? Did you ever dream of becoming an entrepreneur and having your own company?
Yeah, so I always think back, if you would have told the freshman or sophomore Ben Eberle, who was a soccer player, didn't really know anything about even that he was going to like golf and not play soccer anymore, he would have said, hey, when you graduate high school, you're going to be a CEO, you're going to own an LLC, you're going to have a provisional patent, and you're going to be launching a product. I would have said, what do half of those words even mean? I didn't even know I didn't know what an LLC was. I didn't know what any of that meant.
Well, okay, so that whole innovate within was on the announcements, I do believe, several times. So were you just ignoring those announcements, Ben?
I probably want to say I was more focused on academics at the time. Yeah.
There you go. That's a great answer. Okay, so yeah, you just wouldn't have dreamed of that, but you did take advantage of like a concept idea that you had, and you had to have initiative to see it through. So why is it important for students to take initiative?
I really think it's important because you never know what you can accomplish if you don't try. And you're all in high school now. You have the time, you have the ability to fail if you do. And this school has a ton of resources that a lot of you don't even know. I didn't even know were available until I started asking the questions of, hey, can I get help with this? Or what connections do you have for certain things? But really, you're in high school. If you fail, it's going to be okay. And this ecosystem at Hobart wants you to succeed. So you have the time right now to take the initiative to do something. If you have an idea, tell somebody. There's
Right.
teachers all over this building that just want to make anything happen for you and take advantage of that.
That
while you
is
still
so
can.
true. I mean, you have the biomedical, you have the business department, you have the engineering department, computer science, and you don't have to necessarily engineer something. You may just have a great idea that you could write a coding software program to fix something. And so it's just initiative. You have an idea.
Absolutely.
All right. So what would you tell students, gives them some advice on how to take a first step?
So a great first step, I would say, is reach out to a teacher you trust. So if you have an idea for a medical product, talk to one of your medical teachers. If you're in the business realm, I know Ms. Torres is a great teacher and she can absolutely help you out with anything you need. If you're in the engineering sector, great. Mr. Schultz is amazing at doing this, and he's the only reason that I've been able to get as far as I have. There's teachers all over this building that want to help you, and if you trust somebody here, talk to that person. If you don't necessarily have a teacher you trust and you still say, okay, well, I want to take that first step, you can email any of those teachers I just said. Ms. Torres can absolutely help you. Mr. Schultz can help you. They all want to help. I promise you, you're not a burden to them. They're here to help you. So don't feel pressured like, oh, well, I don't want to take that first step and bother anybody. No, you're not going to be bothering anybody. They're here to help you.
I do love that because so many times our Brickie students don't ask questions, and any teacher would help you with your academics, or if you have an idea, we're going to point you in the right direction. What do you love about being a Brickie?
It's great, man. This school, they just want you to succeed. And you can, I really, really felt that way throughout high school. I know, especially launching this product, there were a lot of times where I'd be coming in late to school, like after school was already over to come back and work on this because I needed a desktop or a laptop or something. So many late days pitching with Mr. Schultz or even you, Ms. Buffington, and they just want you to succeed. So
That's true.
There's not that many places in the world that really want you to succeed and that you're not going to be like paying to succeed. So I really felt that I was able to take advantage of everything I had because I didn't feel like a burden. I felt like everybody genuinely wanted to help, and that's really one of the best things I got.
That is definitely what we're here for. You have an incredible story. We're so proud of you with the business. It's just remarkable. And there you have it, Brickies. You can be just like Ben Eberle. Take initiative, take that first step, ask a lot of questions. And all my life, I want to be a Brickie, work, work, work. But you have to remember, initiative is important. You take advantage of all the opportunities that you have here and be committed to your ideas. And when you do, your dreams can come true. I want to thank you, Ben, for joining us today on the Brickie Experience, because you embody a great example of how to own your own business, be an entrepreneur, all at Hobart High School, Hobart University. It all begins when you're in elementary school, working through middle school, and when you come up to the high school, we'll keep helping you with any type of dream that you have. So don't forget, be excellent on purpose, and we'll join you. You can join us next time on the Brickie Experience as we talk to our alumni or other special guests on how to succeed in life. Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone.